Hey everyone, are you ready to dive into something pretty new with me?
I'm ready.
So we're going to be looking at the human subtle system,
Okay.
as described in Sahaja Yoga.
Interesting.
And we've got some really interesting diagrams here. They're kind of like visual maps of unseen energies.
Okay. Visual maps.
Yeah. So I guess our mission today is to really try to figure out what this system is all about.
All right.
What are the key parts
Yeah.
and what it might tell us about human potential.
I like it.
I'm always up for good mystery.
Me too.
Yeah.
What I find really intriguing is that this isn't something that was just like invented recently.
Oh,
Yeah, these diagrams, they're actually depicting a system that's been explored and contemplated for like centuries.
really? Okay, so this is ancient wisdom
Yeah.
we're diving into.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that definitely makes me even more curious.
Yeah.
So first things first, I'm looking at this diagram, and there's this really prominent central channel
Okay.
that's running right up the spine.
Mm.
Straight up the spine.
Uh-huh.
It's labeled the Sushumna Nadi.
The Sushumna Nadi.
Yeah. So what is so special about this channel?
So in Sahaja Yoga, they see the Sushumna Nadi as this pathway for spiritual growth
Hmm.
and evolution. It's fascinating to me how it's depicted. It's between these two other channels, the
Hmm.
Ida and the Pingala Nadis,
Okay.
which represent different but complementary aspects of our being.
Okay. So we've got this central channel,
Mhm.
and then two on either side.
Yeah.
The Ida and Pingala.
Yeah.
And what do they represent? What are their qualities?
It almost looks like a balancing act, right?
It does, yeah, like a delicate balancing act.
Yeah. So Ida is often linked to like moon qualities,
Okay.
feminine energy, the past,
Hmm.
while the Pingala is associated with the sun,
Okay.
masculine energy,
Oh.
the future.
Gotcha. So past and future.
Yeah. And they intertwine along the Sushumna Nadi,
Oh, wow.
creating this really dynamic interplay.
So it's not just a static thing. It's constantly in motion.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. It's
Yeah.
dynamic.
That's a really cool image.
Yeah.
Kind of makes you wonder how these energies might be influencing us day to day.
Yeah. Absolutely. How do we experience that?
Yeah. Okay. So we can't overlook these really vibrant,
Right.
these swirling energy centers.
Mhm.
They're positioned along the Sushumna Nadi,
Yeah.
the chakras.
Yeah. The chakra.
They really pop out in these diagrams.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about them? What are chakras?
So each chakra is like, imagine like a spinning wheel
Okay.
of energy, and they influence our emotions, our thoughts, even our physical health.
Wow. So they have a very, very broad influence.
Yeah, and they each have very specific qualities associated with them.
So it's not just one big energy field.
Yeah.
It's more like these specific centers
Yeah. You think.
with distinct roles.
Yeah, exactly. Take the Muladhara chakra, for example.
Okay. The Muladhara.
Yeah. It's located like at the base of the spine, and it represents innocence and our connection to the earth.
So that's at the very base.
The very base. Yeah.
And then way at the top, at
Yeah.
the crown of the head,
Yeah.
is the Sahasrara chakra.
Sahasrara, yeah.
And that one's associated with integration
Right.
and a sense of unity,
Yeah.
a sense of oneness.
It's amazing how each chakra seems to have like its own unique personality.
It does. It's true. Yeah.
I'm also noticing in one of these diagrams that the chakras are actually connected to the nervous system.
Wow.
Is that just a visual coincidence, or is there something more to that?
That's a really important observation.
Okay.
And it raises a really interesting question about the connection between this subtle energy system and our physical bodies.
Yeah.
Because Western science primarily focuses on what we can see and measure.
Right.
But a lot of traditions, like Sahaja Yoga,
Yeah.
suggest that there's this whole deeper energetic reality at play. So they're saying that these chakras could actually be interacting with our nerves, with our organs,
Yeah.
in ways that maybe we're just beginning to understand.
That's certainly what Sahaja Yoga proposes.
Okay.
Pretty exciting concept. Right?
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I keep seeing this term Kundalini in the diagram.
Yes. Kundalini.
And it's usually depicted coiled at the base of the spine,
right.
almost like a sleeping serpent.
Yeah.
What is that all about?
So Kundalini is often described as like this dormant potential within us.
Okay.
This powerful spiritual energy that like lies dormant in each of us waiting to be awakened.
Wait, so you're telling me that we all have this like untapped energy source
Yeah,
just chilling at the base of our spines?
that's the idea.
That's wild.
It is a very powerful concept. And
Wow.
in Sahaja Yoga, they believe that awakening the Kundalini can lead to a state of self-realization,
Okay.
inner peace,
Yeah.
and a whole host of other positive transformations.
Hold on, I got to wrap my head around this. So this Kundalini energy,
Yeah.
it's like a hidden superpower
Yeah. You could think of it that way.
that we have within us.
Yeah. Yeah. It's important to remember that these diagrams, they're symbolic.
Okay.
They're representations of a much more subtle reality.
Right.
They're not literal anatomical maps,
Okay.
but they're more like a way to visualize
Okay.
and understand these complex energies.
I'm starting to see how this adds like a whole other dimension to how we understand ourselves.
Yes, exactly.
It's like we're not just physical beings.
Mm-hmm.
There's this whole like energetic world inside us.
Yeah. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. We
Whoa.
only just began to kind of scratch the surface.
I'm already hooked. I'm curious though, all this talk about chakras and nadis and kundalini,
Right?
these terms sound really familiar from yoga.
Yeah.
Is there a connection there?
You've got a keen ear. These terms actually come from the ancient traditions of yoga and Ayurveda, which, originated in India
Okay.
thousands of years ago.
So this is not just a visual system. This is a whole language.
Yeah.
This is a way of understanding the human experience that's been passed down
Yeah.
for generations.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Learning the language can help us go deeper
Right.
into the nuances
Yeah.
of this subtle system.
Okay, cool. I'm noticing on one of the diagrams here, there are specific problems and ailments
Yeah.
that are listed next to each chakra.
Mm-hmm.
There's anxiety, depression, even physical issues.
Right.
That's pretty intense.
It's certainly eye-catching, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is.
It's really important to remember that this diagram is just one interpretation within Sahaja Yoga,
Okay.
and it's absolutely not meant to be taken as medical advice.
Right, we got to make that clear.
Yeah, it's not about self-diagnosing based on a chart.
No, not at all.
No. But it does spark a really intriguing question.
What's that?
Could imbalances in this subtle system be connected to our well-being in ways that we haven't fully grasped yet?
That's a really compelling thought. Like, if these chakras are influencing our energy flow,
Yeah.
could that really have an impact on our physical and mental states?
That's exactly what Sahaja Yoga proposes. They suggest that by, addressing these subtle imbalances, we can potentially have a positive impact on our well-being.
So it's like a holistic approach to wellness,
Exactly.
working on the energetic level,
Yeah.
as well as the physical and the mental.
That's right, recognizing that interconnectedness.
Yeah, this is really interesting. It makes me think of other systems,
Uh-huh.
like that have similar concepts.
Yeah, what are you thinking of?
I'm thinking of like the meridians
Yeah.
in acupuncture,
Right.
or the energy centers in different spiritual traditions.
Yeah.
It seems like this idea of this subtle energy network within us.
Uh-huh.
It's like a recurring theme.
It is. It is. You've hit on something really fascinating.
Yeah.
It seems like humanity has been trying to map this invisible world within us for centuries,
Yeah.
using all these different languages and different approaches.
So Sahaja Yoga is like one particular map
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
of this inner landscape.
Yeah, it provides this detailed system
Okay.
for understanding and working with this energy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just one of many perspectives
Right.
out there. But all this talk about subtle energies and Kundalini awakening,
Yeah.
it can feel a bit abstract, can it?
Yeah. It can. It can.
So how can we make this more relatable
Right.
for our listener?
That's a good question. I'm a big fan of analogies.
Okay.
So what if we think of the chakras as spinning wheels of energy?
Right.
And, if one wheel gets wobbly or out of balance, it affects the whole system.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
So balancing the chakras is like getting those wheels spinning smoothly again,
Yeah.
which can have a positive impact on our overall well-being.
Exactly. It's like a tune-up
Yeah, tune-up.
for our system.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. What about the Kundalini?
Okay.
How can we explain that in a way that really clicks for people?
Well, remember that image of the coiled serpent
Yeah.
at the base of the spine?
Yeah.
Imagine that serpent, uncoiling and rising upward, energizing the whole system as it goes.
Okay. That's a really powerful image.
Yeah.
It makes me think of unlocking,
Yeah.
like a hidden power.
That's the idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm starting to see how this all connects.
Great. And that brings us back to you, the listener.
Yes.
Imagine if you could tap into this energy. What might you be capable of?
Wow. That's a question I'm definitely pondering now.
It's a big one, isn't it?
It is. It is. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
We've talked about the 3 main channels.
Yeah.
We've talked about the 7 chakras and the concept of Kundalini.
Right.
But it feels like we're just getting started.
Absolutely. Yeah. We've just provided a basic framework.
Yeah.
But the real journey is individual.
Right.
It's about exploring these ideas, experimenting,
Yeah.
and seeing what resonates.
Yeah. Finding what works for you.
Exactly.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. So picking up where we left off,
Okay.
let's look a little closer at how Sahaja Yoga
Okay.
approaches this whole idea of like problems or imbalances
Okay.
within this subtle system.
Right.
We were just discussing that one diagram
Yeah.
that links like specific issues to
Right.
each chakra.
Yeah. The one that lists like anxiety
Exactly.
or even physical ailments next to certain chakras.
Yeah. Yeah.
It definitely
Right.
made me pause and think.
It's powerful visual, isn't it?
It is.
And as we touched on earlier,
Right.
it's important to approach it
Yeah.
with a healthy dose of caution.
Right.
This is just one interpretation
Uh-huh.
within Sahaja Yoga.
Right.
And it's definitely not a substitute
Yeah.
for professional medical advice.
No, it's not about self-diagnosing
Exactly.
based on a chart.
Exactly.
Right.
However, I think it raises some really thought-provoking questions.
Okay. Like what?
Could it be
Yeah.
that imbalances in this subtle energy system
Mm-hmm.
are connected to our well-being
Yeah.
in ways that we haven't fully considered?
That's what I find so fascinating
Yeah.
about this whole topic. Like, if these chakras are influencing our energy flow,
Yeah, exactly.
could that be impacting our physical and mental state?
That's the premise
Okay.
that Sahaja Yoga puts forward.
Yeah.
They propose that by understanding and addressing these subtle imbalances,
Right.
we can potentially have a positive impact on our overall well-being.
So it's like a holistic approach,
Precisely.
working on the energetic level in addition to
Yeah.
the physical and the mental.
Exactly. Recognizing that interconnectedness
Yeah.
of our being.
Okay.
But we also have to remember
Right.
to be critical thinkers here.
Right.
It's tempting to see a chart
Yeah.
and immediately start applying it
Right.
to ourselves.
Yeah. I could see how that would happen.
So how can we
Yeah.
approach these ideas responsibly?
Yeah, that's a good question.
First, let's remember this is just one perspective
Right.
within a specific tradition.
Right.
Second, we have to acknowledge
Yeah.
that individual experiences are incredibly diverse.
Yeah, there's no one-size-fits-all approach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And third,
Yeah.
if you're dealing with any serious issues,
Right.
seeking help from qualified professionals
Of course.
is crucial.
Yeah.
This exploration can complement traditional healthcare,
Right.
but it shouldn't replace it.
It's about expanding our toolkit
Right.
for well-being, not throwing out
Exactly.
what we already know works.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay. So it's about integration.
This all reminds me of something you mentioned earlier about
Yeah.
other systems
Yeah.
that have similar concepts, like the meridians used in acupuncture
Right.
or the energy centers described in various spiritual traditions.
Yeah.
It seems like this idea of a subtle energy network within us
Yeah.
keeps popping up across cultures.
It's a truly fascinating connection.
It is.
It seems that despite different terms and approaches,
Yeah.
there's this common thread of a subtle energy system
Right.
that flows through us,
Yeah.
influencing our health and well-being.
It's like humanity has been trying to map this invisible world within us
Right.
for centuries,
Yeah.
each tradition offering its own unique perspective.
And Sahaja Yoga provides one such map.
Okay.
It offers a detailed system
Right.
for understanding and working with this energy.
Okay.
It's not the only map, of course.
Right.
But it's definitely an intriguing one.
Okay. I'm getting the big picture now, but I have to admit,
Yeah.
all this talk of subtle energies
Yeah.
and Kundalini awakening
Yeah.
can feel a bit abstract at times.
It can.
How can we make it more relatable
Yeah.
for our listeners
Yeah.
who might be encountering these ideas?
Analogies can be really helpful.
Okay.
Think of the chakras
Yeah.
like spinning wheels of energy,
Right.
each with a specific function.
Okay.
If one wheel is off kilter,
Yeah.
it throws off the entire system.
I like that.
So balancing the chakras is like
Yeah.
tuning up those wheels
Yeah.
and getting them spinning smoothly again.
Exactly. It's like a tune-up
Exactly.
for our energetic system.
For our system.
Okay, cool.
And As for Kundalini,
All right.
remember that image of the coiled serpent
Yeah.
at the base of the spine?
Uh-huh.
Imagine that serpent awakening and uncoiling, rising upward through the central channel and energizing the whole system as it goes.
Now, that's a powerful image.
It is.
It's like this incredible force
Yes.
is waiting to be unleashed within us.
And that's what I find so compelling about this whole concept.
Yeah.
It's about tapping into our own inner potential and realizing our true selves.
Okay.
But it's also important to remember that these diagrams are models.
Right.
They're symbolic representations meant to help us understand, not literal anatomical maps.
So they're more like a roadmap than a blueprint.
They point us in the right direction.
Okay.
But the journey itself is unique for each individual.
Speaking of the journey, I'm starting to get a sense of the vastness of this system.
Yes.
And all its implications.
Absolutely.
But I'm also curious about where we go from here.
Well, we've talked about the system itself.
Right.
The chakras, the nadis, the kundalini.
Yeah.
But what does it all mean?
Right.
How do we actually apply this knowledge?
Yeah. How do we actually use this?
In our daily lives.
In our lives, yeah.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to move from theory to practice.
Me too. What are some tangible ways
Yeah.
people can start exploring and working with this subtle energy system?
That's what we'll be diving into in the next segment.
Right.
Sahaja Yoga actually offers a variety of techniques and practices that are designed to do just that, to help people connect with their inner energy and explore their own potential.
I'm so ready for this.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Listeners, stay tuned because we're about to get into the really practical and exciting stuff. Okay, so welcome back. I am so ready to delve into the practical side of things.
Yeah.
We've been talking about this really fascinating world of subtle energies, but I want to know, like, how do we actually work with it?
Right.
What does Sahaja Yoga offer in terms of techniques and practices?
That's a great question. And it's what makes this whole exploration so exciting. We're not just talking about these abstract concepts, you know? Sahaja Yoga actually gives you a framework for actually engaging with this subtle energy system to potentially enhance our lives.
Okay, I'm all ears. Tell me more.
So a lot of the practices center around meditation. But it's not, you know, what you might typically picture. It's a form of meditation that's specifically geared towards awakening and nurturing the Kundalini energy.
So it's more focused.
Yeah.
More intentional.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It involves things like focusing your attention on specific chakras, visualizing the energy flow, and even using hand gestures. They're called mudras.
Mudras.
Yeah. To kind of interact with the subtle system.
Aren't those the hand positions that are often used in yoga?
You got it.
Okay, yeah.
So in Sahaja Yoga, they believe that these mudras can actually influence the flow of energy within the chakras.
So it's like we're sending signals to our energy system using these specific hand positions.
Yeah, that's a really interesting way to think about it.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're not just, you know, random movements.
Right.
Each mudra is actually associated with a particular chakra and its qualities.
So it's not just about sitting still and quieting the mind.
Right.
It sounds like there's an active element to this.
Absolutely. You're actively participating in the process of, like, balancing your energy, clearing any perceived blockages, and fostering the flow of Kundalini.
It makes me think of energy work.
Yeah.
Like we're consciously learning to direct and manipulate these subtle energies within us.
Yeah. That's a great analogy. The ultimate goal is to achieve a state of balance and harmony within the subtle system, which, according to Sahaja Yoga, can have, like, positive ripple effects on our well-being on all levels.
Okay, so if someone is feeling anxious, stressed, could they potentially use these techniques to calm their nervous system?
Yeah, that's precisely what Sahaja Yoga practitioners suggest.
Okay.
A lot of people who practice these techniques, they report that they can have a significant impact on their mental and emotional states, leading to a reduction in stress, increased clarity, and a greater sense of inner peace.
It's almost like having this internal toolkit for managing your energy, your emotions.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Okay, cool.
And it's not just about addressing problems or imbalances, right?
Right.
Sahaja Yoga also focuses on cultivating positive qualities,
Yes.
enhancing creativity, and helping individuals like tap into their full potential.
Absolutely. It's about, going beyond just fixing what's wrong. Right. It's about like really nurturing those positive aspects.
Now you're speaking my language. I love that.
Yeah.
I'm all about self-growth and exploring new possibilities.
Yeah.
So let's say someone is listening to this and they're really intrigued by these techniques.
Yeah.
And they want to give it a try.
One of the great things about Sahaja Yoga is its accessibility.
Okay.
They offer free classes and workshops all over the world.
Really?
And they're open to anyone who's curious to explore these ideas.
That's amazing. So it's not like some exclusive club or anything.
No, not at all.
It's truly available to anyone who wants to give it a try.
Exactly. And that really aligns with one of their core beliefs.
Okay.
Which is that self-realization is a birthright, not a privilege that's reserved for a select few.
I love that. It's a really empowering message.
Yeah.
Seems like Sahaja Yoga is more than just a set of techniques.
It is.
It's like a whole philosophy. Yeah, it's a way of life.
Yeah.
It emphasizes the interconnectedness of all beings, promoting, values like compassion, understanding, and a sense of collective well-being.
So it's not just about, personal growth.
Right.
It's also about recognizing our interconnectedness.
Yep.
And contributing to a more harmonious world.
Precisely. It's about understanding that our individual well-being is inextricably linked to the well-being of others and the planet as a whole.
This deep dive has been truly mind-expanding.
Yeah.
We've journeyed through these ancient diagrams. We've explored these intricate concepts of chakras, kundalini.
Yeah.
And we've even discovered some practical techniques for working with this subtle energy system.
That's right.
I feel like I've learned so much.
Me too.
And remember, this is really just a starting point.
Yeah. It's an invitation to explore further.
Yeah.
The true exploration begins when you engage with these ideas personally, with an open mind and a willingness to experience it.
Yeah, to see what it's all about.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow.
This is where the listener takes the reins.
Yeah.
We've given you the map. Now it's time to choose your own adventure.
Exactly.
Explore, experiment,
Yeah.
and see what resonates for you.
I love it.
Exactly. And as you embark on this journey, on this exploration, remember to keep that sense of curiosity alive.
Yes. Curiosity is key.
Ask questions. Stay open to new perspectives.
Yeah.
And keep those chakras spinning.
Yes. I love it.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for joining us on this fascinating deep dive into the world of Sahaja Yoga.
Absolutely.
Until next time, keep seeking, keep questioning,
Yes.
and keep exploring that incredible potential
It's there.
that lies within.
Absolutely.